Hey guys, Nick here from Velocity Trading, and in this video I just want to go over a quick recap of my trade today over on CTX and just some of the things we saw today in the small cap market. So, okay, what do we got here on CTX? So CTX is a sector play here, right? So we've been seeing these riots going on across the country, and we're now seeing some money flow into some of these security stocks, right? So CTX, in DGOY, they make video surveillance and some body cameras and a lot of things just in security, right? But we don't care too much about the fundamentals, of these companies, but it's just a sector play, right? We also saw it today. We had AESE, I believe the ticker was, and that's a gaming company, right? Actually, AESE is looking to break out right now. So we saw DraftKings, run big, and now we're seeing some sympathy in AESC, and there's another one, INSS. So it's a lot of these plays work. They're very themey, very sectorish, right? So when we had the coronavirus, pandemic, we had all the coronavirus things. We're still seeing, a lot of them still. And then we had the delivery names. We had Apron. We had WTRH. The China sector. So bottom line is a lot of these penny stocks are very trendy, right? Very sectorish. They run in packs. So, and that's what we're seeing today, right? So security plays are popping on off. So let's get into why I traded CTX, why I traded it when I did. So all right, so CTX popped off right around 7 a.m. right? Popped off right around 7 a.m. And what do I know about CTX? Is that it does have some history of running, right? When it trades volume, it likes to run. So if you look at the past history here, it does have some history of spikes, right? $1 to 275, right? Then the next day it continued, ran to 320 to 331. So and then some days here, right? We traded a little bit later volume, 11 million shares, faded, but we were trading 11 million shares in the pre-market. I think we traded like 15 in the pre-market. We're doing 90 million right here on CTX. So just going back, right? It has some history running. It does have some bags, but still, if demand's gonna be that big, that high, it's gonna squeeze, right? No matter the bag holders. So and that's what we saw here a little bit on CTX, right? So, it's fading from here. You have to assume it fails, right? Don't want to try to time the bottom and get on in. And I was waiting more to the open, right? We had a lot of plays this morning in the pre-market, so I was really being patient, weeding out, seeing what's going to be the best, plays for me. And CTX. Climbed back on up, squeezed a little bit. I think they dropped the PR here right on 845, so shorts were trapped. Squeezed a little bit to the open, and then from there, I said, guys, I'm not gonna buy here. Just, we just squeezed out. Shorts got squeezed. We have some newsletters jumping in here. We're gonna have some chasers, some Robinhooders, right? So I want to let everyone get flushed out. Then if it sets up, past 9:45, 10 a.m. then I'll be interested for potential long, right? And that was the same thing on DGOY, same thing on CTX. Those are my plans for those two plays. I like both of them for potential longs. So, flushed out here. I wasn't looking for an early starter. Sometimes I'll look for maybe an early starter if I like it a lot, but it was staying pretty heavy, and and I did think it was, it wasn't gonna come back, but once it did, that was a signal for me, right? So. It started failing here. It's failing 250s. Failed at VWAP. Staying really heavy. And then right here we sped on up, and that was my first little signal there. Oh, we started to speed up a little bit. Now we're starting to hold over to this 230 mark, and this is where I got in. I'll show you guys my chart here. So got in right around this 234, 235 mark, and I was in full size there. I was, because I like the tight risk off 225. So I was risking this bottom line right here at 225. So I was risking about 9 cents on it, right? So was in there, full size, 10,000 shares, risking about $900,000, which is about 1 hour for me. So risk was controlled, right? Risking 1 hour, and I was looking for the highs. And over the highs. And you can see where I sold here, right? Selling here to upper 270s, 280. So I made about, a little over a 4R on it, right? With, it was a good risk reward trade. It should have died here, right? But 230s kept refreshing. I like that. That's why I got in. I knew that, shorts are probably in here, thinking it was going to be a nice, slow, easy fade. But, it should have died. It didn't. Got in there. It's my favorite pattern, right? You guys know what pattern this is for people who've been watching me for a while. And we got when squeezed out, right? It was definitely, and here it was definitely looking a little, scary there for a moment, right? 250s failing, look left, 250s a key level. And I didn't get shaken out, I said, guys, yeah, we're not looking too hot right here, right, guys? But I'm not gonna sell. Why would I sell? It's not even at my target. Me selling would have been out of fear of losing, right? So I stuck through it. I held for my target. It could have failed here, and if it did, I would have been fine with it, right? It still would have been a good trade for me. I wouldn't have, it would stink, but still overall, I wouldn't mind the trade. It was a good trade. But, ultimately we held, soaked it back on up and, squeezed out, and I was able to get out, for a nice little win to start off my June. So that was a trade there on CTX. And then from there, you guys see we went a little bit higher. And I was really happy with the members too. I've been trying to preach and, tell everyone, guys, you got to have more patience on your trades. I'm seeing a lot of you guys are selling for 10, 20 cents. Like, oh, green's good. Let me sell them up 20 cents. But, you guys got to get into a habit of, holding out your winners, right? I mean, if you guys really want to compound and grow your account, you need those 4 or 5R trades. You need those days where you have a 6, 7R trade, right? You can't keep having these 2R days, these 2R loss days. You got to be consistent, right? You really should be risking 1.5R. 0.5R to 1.5R max. That's max, right? Per trade, and then you should be looking for 3R plus on your wins, right? So, you guys can't be selling like these. Just some people say like, oh, just take your 10 cents, and be happy with it. To me that's BS. It's bullshit. You can't sell for 5, 10 cents, and expect to compound and grow your account. I mean. It's just my opinion, you got to hold out for some of these wins. And I'm not saying to be irrational and get in there at 230 and say, oh, I'm going to sell at $5, I mean, that's just irrational thinking, right? But saying, all right, I'm going to get there at 235, and I think we're going to get near the highs or break the highs. There's nothing wrong with that. Or even saying, hey, I think we could push at $3, right? I know we saw in the filings there that CTX on the baby shelf rule, if they want to raise more, they got to push for a higher close, which... that's another thing that adds to, your thesis, right? You were talking about that, fundamental versus technical. And for me, I'm, 90% technical, 10% fundamentals. But, besides that, yeah, I mean, it was a good trade here on CTX. I don't really have much more to say about it. From here on out, we'll see maybe it retraps or not. Price action's kind of dying down, volume dying down. But, yeah, it was a solid trade. I'm just kind of looking at some of these other names. AESC, squeezing actually right now, pulling back a little bit, but nice setup here, right? Nice little sub VWAP trap. Tried to push here, failed. Kind of reminds me of Surf a little bit. Kind of did the similar type trap here. We faked the VWAP reclaim. Came back one more time and then had the real push. I hate those type of. Hate when they do that, but sometimes that's what happens. Market makers manipulate, like to play games with you before they rip it up, like to flush everyone out, get all those baggies, newsletters out, track more shorts, and then rip it on up. So yeah, we'll see where AESC goes from here. It's like a 2-4 million float stock, a gaming stock, like I said. Gaming sector has been hot too. We've been seeing DraftKings, squeeze, really big lately. So we're seeing some money put into flow into some of these gaming plays. I think that's it for the day, right? DGOY too. I actually would have taken DGOY too, but I got caught up in CTX. Kind of my log signals were, right around here as we held. Put in a base, and I actually said, watch for it to come into 210 before it rips on up, and it did that, right? people are asking me to buy this, and I said, guys, I think it's gonna pull one more time at 210, and then maybe make that move, and it did. So just planning, right? Just pre-planning your trades. Don't no reason to jump in out of the gates and buy the breakout, right? Pre-plan your trades, right? Write it down, verbalize it to someone, right? Say, hey, I'm gonna wait for it to spike on up, flush out the 210, and then reclaim a key level, or I'm gonna wait for it to push into the highs, stuff, put in a lower high, and then short, right? I mean, just pre-planning your trades. So many people they're not pre-planning their trades. They're just going in aimlessly, right? Following the crowd. If you guys want to do this consistently, you got to be consistent and pre-plan. Plan your trades. So many people aren't doing that, right? And they're just getting in, hoping. They're guessing. Everything needs to be calculated in trading, right? All my trades are calculated. All pre-planned. So, you guys gotta do the same thing, right? So something you guys gotta do. And same thing with journaling, right? You gotta journal your days, right? You gotta track your performance, right? How do you expect to get better without reviewing your performance and tracking it, right? So I don't know. Now I'm just kind of rambling. Yeah, I think this may be it for the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're interested in joining, we do have a 7-day free trial in the link in the description. So come check us out for a week. It's free, right? Doesn't hurt. So that's it for this recap, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. I'm out. Peace.